This lesson is on relations. At this point, you should have already completed your warm-up and checked it with Ms. Schneider. If you haven't done so, pause the video, complete the warm-up, check your answers. Learning target. I will be able to show relations in different representations and define domain and range. A relation is a set that didn't work. Set of ordered pairs. The domain is the set of all x values. And the range is the set of all y values. So just some new words for us for when we talk about an ordered pair. An ordered pair is that x comma y that we can graph on a coordinate grid. We're going to talk about a couple other ways to show those ordered pairs. So ways to represent a relation. You can have ordered pairs, table, and graph. The table and graph are already done for you here, but you will do them in the examples. The ordered pairs would be the list of the points that are listed in the table and on the graph. So -3, 1. And you can see here that it's in the table and it's also on the graph. 0, 3. 1, -1. And 3, -2. The domain and range of these values are listed using brackets. The domain is the list of all x values. And we usually put it in order from smallest to largest. The range is the set of all y values in order that corresponds to the x values. So you'll see here that 1 comes first, but -1 is smaller. It doesn't matter. You're going to list them in order corresponding to the x. So because 1 matches up with -3, that will go in first. Express the relation given as ordered pairs as a table and as a graph, then determine the domain and range. So here is your relation listed as ordered pairs. So let's first list it as a table. A table can be done either horizontal or vertical. I'm going to do it horizontal here just because that's the kind of the space that I have. X values go on top, Y values go on bottom. And we're going to list this in order, the x values in order from smallest to largest. So 4 and its corresponding y value, which is 5. -3 and its corresponding y value, 2. 0, its corresponding y value, 1. 1 and its corresponding y value, -1. And then 3 and its corresponding y value, -2. We can also graph these points on the coordinate grid here. So we always start at that origin, which is directly in the middle, there. And I'm going to just erase that. And then we count the x values first. So we're going to go -4, so that's to the left, and then up 5. We're almost off the graph, but that's okay. We can put a point right there. We're going to graph the new point from the origin again. So -3, which is to the left, and up 2. This next point Again, starting at the origin, 0, 1. So that means we just go in the vertical direction because there's no horizontal x values. And continue on with all of our points, and we graph them. We should label them on the graph as well. I said you could also make the table vertically. What that would look like would be like this. X values go on the left, Y values go on the right. So for example, it would look like this, and so on. So the domain is the set of all X values in order from smallest to largest. And the range is the set of all Y values in order to the corresponding X's. So although 5 is the greatest number, we would put it first because it corresponds to the -4. And we're done this problem. Here, the relation is showed as the graph, and we have to do it as ordered pairs and as a table. So they're just listed here. We're always going to look for the smallest X value. So going across the grid here and seeing that that right there is the smallest X value. So we're going to start with that and then listing the X's in order from smallest to largest. When we list the ordered pairs, again, we use the bracket. And the ordered pairs can come right off the table, or excuse me, the graph. And ending with a bracket as well. As a table, again, the X value goes on top, the Y value goes on the bottom, and we start with the smallest X value and its corresponding Y. Remember that the domains are your X's. We start with a bracket, and we list them in order from smallest to largest. The range are your Y values, and we list them in order with the corresponding X's. At this point, rewatch the video if you have any questions. Ask Ms. Schneider if you have any questions. Do the your turns and have them checked.